Audio Jungle.
Elderly woman murdered at her home in Lawrence Tavern. The decomposing body of a 78-year-old woman was found with her throat slashed in her home in Kings Weston Lawrence Tavern, St. Andrew on Monday. The deceased has been identified as Barbara Archer, more popularly known as Miss Bobs. The police say the woman's semi-nude body was discovered in blood inside her dwelling. The matter is under investigation. Holness declares entire Jamaica a disaster area. Prime Minister Andrew Holness has declared the entire island as a disaster area for the next 7 days as Jamaica braces for Hurricane Beryl. An island-wide curfew will be in effect between 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. today. Holness made the announcement in a national broadcast on Tuesday. He also announced the imposition of an evacuation order from flood-prone area and the low-lying areas. Holness urged residents to cooperate with notices from evacuation when they are issued. And he also announced an allocation of $5 million for each of the 63 constituents for emergency response.
After careful review of the trajectory of the storm, the likely strength and impact, the potential threats emanating, and having been notified in writing by the minister responsible for disaster preparedness and emergency management, I am now declaring the whole of Jamaica to be a disaster area in accordance with Section 26 of the Disaster Risk Management Act for the next 7 days. All Jamaica should note that following on this declaration, an island-wide curfew will be in effect between the hours of 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. Wednesday, 3rd of July, 2024. This is to ensure the safety of everyone during the passage of the storm and prevent any movement with the intent to carry out criminal activity. Additionally, the JCF and the JDF will be fully mobilized to maintain public order and assist with disaster relief as soon as the hurricane has passed. The security forces have developed strategic plans to counter any potential threat of looting or any other opportunistic crimes during this period.
32 JN ATMs out of service. JN Bank is reporting that 32 of its ATMs across the country are currently out of commission due to service disruption by one of its data supplier. The financial institution says the supplier discontinued service out of an abundance of caution due to the impending arrival of Hurricane Beryl. Some of the affected ATMs include the machines located at Augustown, Ligoni and Vineyard Town in St. Andrew, Greater Portmore, Portmore Pines and Old Harbour in St. Catherine, Buff Bay and Port Antonio in Portland, Aracabessa St. Mary, and Clarendon Park and Maypen Clarendon. JN says its team is monitoring the situation closely and is in communication with the data provider to restore service as soon as possible after the passage of the hurricane. Mandeville Fire Department prepared for burial. As Hurricane Beryl approaches Jamaica, the Mandeville Fire Department has upped its readiness. District Officer Garrett Russell told reporters that all equipment are up and running and that there is open dialogue with stakeholders including contractors who may be called on for assistance. We also have a small boat that we check to ensure it's ready and that all machines and oil are ready, stated Russell. He said the department has undertaken several activities to ensure preparedness. Russell said the department stands ready to respond to any eventualities. Meanwhile, there was a buzz of activities across Mandeville as businesses and residents braced for the impact of the hurricane. Mobay's homeless to stay at Jarrett Park during Hurricane Beryl. Montego Bay's Mayor Richard Vernon says provisions have been made to house the city's homeless persons from the impending inclement weather. Speaking to journalists following an emergency disaster preparedness meeting with stakeholders agencies in St. James, Vernon said these persons are to be given shelter at the Jarrett Park Sports Stadium. Further, he said special arrangements are being made for individuals who have mental and other challenges. We have units available to transport homeless persons, and the area that will be housed is at the Jarrett Park, and we have the spaces there for them. Further, we will have the psychiatric ward and the nurses available to assist with persons with mental challenges and other challenges or persons who are just homeless without these challenges, stated Vernon. We have spaces for those persons, and while we cannot force them from their area on the street or Cosmo Bay, we have to make the provision for them, and we have made those provisions, Vernon added. The mayor also urged residents who live in high-risk locations such as communities with a history of flooding or along riversides or gully embankment to seek shelter on higher ground. He also recommended that persons who may need to relocate from their homes to either seek out family members or head to their nearest shelters. If you need to move prior to the arrival of the hurricane, then reach out to your family member. If there is no space for you where the family is concerned, then you can ask to be placed at the shelter or to access the shelter. And if you are displaced in the event of the disaster, then you can be utilized at the shelter for that purpose, stated Vernon. St. James has 58 designated shelters.
Good morning, everyone. As Hurricane Beryl approaches, I want to provide an update on the Jamaica Constabulary Force's preparedness and response measures. As at 6 a.m. today, all our incident command centers have been activated across the island. We are fully integrated with the National Emergency Operations Center at the Office of Disaster Preparedness and Emergency Management. Additionally, we are fully integrated into the Parish Disaster Preparedness Committee's command center, ensuring a coordinated and efficient response at the local level. The JCF is fully deployed island-wide to secure critical installations and scheduled premises, ensuring the safety and security of these vital locations. The entire force is available for deployment over the period. Our highway patrols are monitoring main thoroughfares across the island, and mobile patrols are active in domestic and business districts. The Quick Response Unit is also prepared for rapid deployment. We are prioritizing the security of key infrastructures, including Petrojam, airports, business districts, hospitals, major road networks, the courts, prisons, and scheduled premises. The JCF, in collaboration with the JDF, will monitor these locations throughout the storm. The Prime Minister has promulgated the Disaster Risk Management Act, which will include several no-movement stipulations and attendant regulations. We urge all citizens to comply with the DRMA and its regulations. The JCF will be responsible for the enforcement of these measures to ensure everyone's safety. Our scheme of maneuver is divided into 3 phases. During the pre-form stage, we have made all necessary preparations and mobilizations. During the blow of the hurricane, we will be hunkered down and we expect that there will be no movement. It is crucial that during the passage of the eye, everyone remains indoors. This is not a time to venture outside. In the recovery phase, we will be out in our numbers, securing public property, preventing looting, facilitating support to shelters, and assisting with rescue missions. An inventory of hurricane supplies has been completed and sufficient supplies are available. Heavy-duty equipment has been strategically located and is ready to support external agencies. Let me assure you that the JCF, led by Commissioner Dr. Kevin Blake, is fully prepared and dedicated to safeguarding the lives and property of all Jamaicans during this challenging time. We will do everything in our power to support the nation through Hurricane Beryl. Thank you.
Evacuate. Leaving nothing to chance, Trelawney Municipal Corporation TMC late Tuesday afternoon began relocating 54 residents from Trelawney Infirmary to a temporary shelter at Hague Primary School. Plans are also in place to evacuate the 5 people who currently sleep at the Falmouth Night Shelter for the homeless, and the roughly 25 homeless people who eat at the Falmouth Drop-In Center will also be relocated. In accordance with the Trelawney Infirmary plan, the residents are evacuated when the hurricane warning is issued by the Met Service of Jamaica. The plan takes into consideration transportation arrangement for the residents and a safe evacuation route to the emergency shelter located at Hague Primary School. This was stated by Mayor of Falmouth and Chairman of the TMC, Council C. Junior Gager. However, due to the location of the drop-in center and the night shelter, which is across the road from Trelawney Infirmary, the Trelawney Parish Disaster Committee has decided that the homeless persons would be evacuated as well, since both buildings are also prone to flooding and storm surge. Therefore, the homeless would also be evacuated to a primary school, he added. The drop-in center and the night shelter are located on the same premises, just across the road from the infirmary. Gager noted that except for Falmouth, which is below sea level, all shelters are in place across the parish. All the shelters in the 9 divisions are up and running. They are manned with volunteers who will be working and shelter managers. We have a list of their phone numbers and we have everything prepared. The managers are also properly trained, so all training has been completed. They are ready. Everybody knows where their shelter will be if there is a hurricane, he assured. He also noted that all councils in the 9 divisions receive allocation to concentrate on the cleaning of drains. All the drains are being cleaned, all bottles and everything has been taken up at this time. We want to make sure that in case anything happens, water can flow freely. We are making sure that the drains are running and in order, Gager expressed. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell for daily updates.